Lesson 15 of Math 8 is over powers and roots. Powers are repeated multiplication and roots are repeated division. Let's do a few quick examples. All right, so this is the definition, or this is an example of a power. This is 10 to the 5th power, or 10 to the 5th. And what it actually represents is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. So repeated multiplication, that's what powers are. Okay, now with 10 to the 5th power, it's just a 1 followed by 5 zeros. It's 100,000. Okay, 3 to the 4th power, again, powers are just repeated multiplication. So this is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 times 3 is 81. So a couple parts of powers. This number up here, the 4, is called the exponent. It's how many times you're repeating the 3. And the 3 down here is called the base. So that's the number that is being repeated. So 3 4 times. I'm sorry, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 4 times would be 12. That's not what we're doing today. All right, and then the last one, 15 centimeters squared. That's 15 centimeters times 15 centimeters, which is 225 centimeters squared. Okay, just like 15 times 15 is 225, a centimeter times a centimeter is a centimeter squared. So it works with units as well. All right, how about roots? These are roots, and we can't call them square roots because example E is not a square root, it's actually a cube root. Okay, so the square root of 121 is basically asking us what number times itself is 121. And the only number multiplied by itself that is 121 is 11. That's not true, actually. Negative 11 times negative 11 is also 121, but we're just dealing with positive square roots right now. So since 11 times 11 is 121, the square root of 121 is 11. And we're done. Square root sign gone. Square root of 121 equals 11, because 11 times 11 is 121. Now with cube roots, it's very, very similar, but it's what number times itself 3 times equals 8. Okay, so since it's a cube root, we need the same number in here 3 times. Square roots, we don't put the 2 up there, but we could. It's 2 times. Cube root 3 times. So 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Hence, the cube root of 8 is 2. And then the last one, square root of 5 squared. Okay, I'll do this out the long way, but 5 squared is 5 times 5. Okay, so they're basically asking us the square root of 25 here, but they've already got it in exponential form, or prime factorization if you want to call it that. The square root of 5 squared is just 5. And what you'll find here, and it'll appear in the problem sets, is that anytime you take the square root of a number squared, it's just the number. The square root of a squared is a. The square root of x squared is x. The square root of p squared is p. Square root of a million squared is 1 million. All right, and the nice part about exponents is they are a lot quicker way to express an expression like this, to write an expression like this. If we're going to write 5 times x times y times y times y times z with exponents, it's a lot faster. It's 5 times x times y cubed times z squared. And we're done. Okay, you got 1x, so the exponent's 1. You got 3y's, so the exponent is 3. And you got 2z's, so the exponent is 2. Z times z is z squared. Z squared is z times z. Next one, b. It's a lot easier to call that a cubed b, or a to the 3rd power times b. And the last one, doesn't matter what order they're in because multiplication is commutative. So let's call this 3x cubed y squared. You got 3 x's, so it's x times x times x, or x cubed, and you got 2 y's. Y times y is y squared. Mr. Chin wants to cover the floor of his garage with a non-slip coating. His garage measures 20 feet on each side. Use the formula A equals S squared to find the number of square feet of floor that need to be coated. Okay, so he's got a 20 by 20 floor. It's a rectangle. It's actually a square. Square is a rectangle, but so instead of doing base times height like we do for rectangles, we can just do side length squared. Area is the side length squared. So area is 20 feet squared. Okay, and 20 feet squared is like 20 times 20, or 20 feet times 20 feet. 20 times 20 is 400, and feet times feet is feet squared. So he needs to cover 400 square feet with the non-slip coating. All right, so basic introduction to exponents today. A little bit with actual numbers and a little bit with variables. And that'll get us going on tomorrow's problem set 15. See you then.